Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and in today's video, I'll be doing an unboxing of the Old King's Crown. This is the first edition and the second printing. So I'll show you what's inside, I'll get it all sleeved, and then I'll put it all back in the box. Let's get rolling. All right, so I'm ready to unbox my copy of the Old King's Crown. Again, this is the second printing of the first edition, and I'll say off the bat, this was a larger box than I was expecting, a little bit deeper than I was thinking. About the same length and width as I thought, but there's a lot in here. So let's get right to it. I want to get the plastic wrap off of this, and yeah, you know what? I like the way that this crowdfunding went down. Because they knew this was going to be popular, so the reprint was already in process when they opened up the crowdfunding for the expansions, and they said they will do a wave 1 shipping of just the base game, and then everything else will be wave 2. So I ordered this only a couple months ago, and I've already got it in hand, and that feels pretty unusual in the board gaming landscape, but I'm a fan. Obviously, the artwork here is gorgeous. And I do have the expansions on order. I'll be getting those whenever that's done next year. And I ordered that other game Amulet as well. And then the artwork extends. I know it's not in focus, but it extends around all sides of the box. It's just really, really good looking. Inside of the box, that's nice too. I like when there's artwork inside the box, and this one's really subtle, but I like that black with the texture. I wonder if this will work. Kind of hard to see, but that's the inside. That looks really, really nice. Cool. So let's get into the components. I'll set this aside. And first we have the rule book that's on top. This looks just over 50 pages. It's 52 with the back cover. And a lot of really big illustrations, which is nice. Makes it easy to tell what's going on. Looks like everything's clearly labeled. I don't really know how to play this game yet. I've watched some playthrough videos. I've got a little bit of an idea, but I'm gonna have to like sit down and go through it. But this looks easy enough to go through. And then this is cool. There's these little descriptions in the back to tell you about the different factions, because they're all asymmetrical, so you can kind of like get a real quick idea of what each one is about. I think these are quick references. I think there's a glossary back here somewhere too. Yeah, here's a glossary if you need to look something up quickly. So this all looks really good. That's the rule book. I assume there's components at the beginning. Yep, great. We've got contents. I've become surprised lately at how many rule books do not have a table of contents. Okay, excellent. Let's set this aside. And next we've got the dedicated solo rulebook, which is sizable. This is 40 pages with the back cover. So that's a lot. That's a lot for a solo mode, but I hear it's a robust solo mode. We've got the contents here. Setup. I mean, there's a lot of hidden information in this game, so making a solo mode is a real task. With like the trick taking and the bluffing. So I'm not surprised it's a sizable book. And I'm also not disappointed. It seems like they've taken great care to do everything they've done in this game. And then the forge here, this is really cool. So you can, I think the terminology they use is they call it heat. You can turn up the heat or turn down the heat to make it easier or harder to play against the Atoma, which is called the simulacrum. Really cool. Little glossary in the back there. Nice. So there's a solo rulebook. Looking forward to getting into this. I'll definitely be playing this on the channel solo, and it will take some time, but I think I'll eventually get a video on the channel with each faction. Let's see. Are these sequence of play, resolving clashes, actions, effects, commands, and additional concepts. So these are like 2 large general reminder cards that you can kind of pass around the table. if you just need to quickly reference something. Looks great. And then there is a reference card for the solo mode, the simulacrum bonuses and rewards on this side. Simulacrum sequence of play on this side. Great. And then we've got the punchboards. So let's see, we've got 3 of them. Lay them all out here. So we've got pieces here for the different factions at the start of the game. These like dark components here and here, these numbers, these are for the simulacrum. That's for solo mode. And then these are our influence tokens and our lore tokens here. More influence over here. And then these are obviously for each of the factions as well. These are for the simulacrum. A little bit. It's fine. It's fine. But the obviously cardboard punch outs for all the simulacrum pieces here, like the herald, as well as these supporters. The box comes with really nice screen printed wood components, which we'll see in a little bit for the player factions, and there are really nice simulacrum wood screen printed pieces to match that just did not ship with this wave, so they don't come in the base game box, but I do have them on order. I'm looking forward to getting them, but I think that's over a year out right now, so I will punch these out in a bit. You know what, I guess I could show the back sides too, just in case there's anything you want to see there. I think for the most part they're going to be similar front and back. The simulacrum pieces here, this is the back side, so you don't know what number you're going to reveal on the other side. Same thing with these faction pieces. It's a secret what's on one side or the other, I think. Well, I don't know if it's a secret, but I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. But there you go. There's the front and backs. We'll find out together. So now let's get this game board out. Really curious as to the size of it. How do I get this thing out? It's hard to get a sense of scale sometimes. I hope I zoomed out the camera enough to show the whole thing. Looks like it is single-sided. The back is just black. Yeah, this is bigger than I was expecting. Nothing wrong with that. And okay, so it's 6 panels. Oh man. There we go. Pinch the tablecloth. Yeah, this is big. So I'll try and show the whole thing, a little bit of time here. So this is quite large. I'm trying to think of what to compare it to, because it's 6-fold, but they're rectangular. Each piece is rectangular, so it's a little bit different than other things I've seen of this size. But for reference, if you've played, this is like maybe the size of like the Nemesis board or something. It's quite large. Looks really great though, as expected. So I am really dying to dive into this. And lucky me, in this case, not only did I order this game, so I'll be playing it solo and of course on the channel, but a friend of mine ordered this game as well, which means I'll be playing it at 3 to 4 player competitive. So I'll get to give you my thoughts on that after I've had a chance to play it that way. So that's exciting. What else do we have? These are the player boards. These are really nice. Again, a little larger than I was imagining in my mind's eye, but not super big. But these are all dual layer. It's really well done, really nice. So this whole section is recessed. These are all recessed. This is recessed for your herald. Oh, look at that. And this is recessed on the back side. So is that double layer or triple layer? Yeah, I guess that's still double layer. But it's recessed on the back so that when you put your kingdom cards here, whatever card you use to bid to take it, you can slide underneath and it'll fit. That's really great. That's really great. Cool. These look really, really nice. Excited. What else do we have? We've got this board here. Oh, this is for the simulacrum. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. See if this works at all. Yeah. So here's what this. Oops, I'm stuck. Here's what this looks like. Nice. It's even nice on the back. And there's nothing going on in the back here. Like, you don't ever need to look at this. There we go. They didn't have to do that, but I really like that level of detail. That's awesome. So next we've got whatever this board is. These are the different council places. I think this is where you go in the fall. So I can show this real quickly, kind of like that. So I think you get the idea. Stuck again. And then we've got these faction boards here that hold your special cards that you can get throughout the game. So there's one for each faction, and this is for the simulacrum, for the fog. Man, the details on this are just amazing, though. Let's see if I can show you one up close, maybe this one. Just the artwork is awesome all over this game. The level of detail, it's just really impressive. So cool. Here are those 4 boards and one for the simulacrum. I like that it's got all this great solo stuff right in the box. So then this looks like, I think these are kingdom cards. These are fog cards. I think this is for the simulacrum. We've got a variety of wooden components that we will resort. Comes with some plastic bags, which I'm sure I'll be using. Some more simulacrum cards down here. This looks like it's for the forge. And a couple more decks over here too. The main deck of cards for the players. And the simulacrum main cards. And then here's the organizer, which seems to me like it's really thought out. I can see these little notches. So everything seems to have a place intended for it, which I appreciate. What's under there? Just out of curiosity. Yeah, they've even got some nice detail on the bottom of the box beneath the organizer. Didn't have to do that. Okay, cool. So that's a quick look at everything that's in the box and how it arrived. It all looks pretty good. So now I'm going to go through everything on my own and really take stock, make sure I've got all the components, figure out how to organize it all, and then I will come back and give you my detailed thoughts afterwards. So here we go. All right, so I've got everything unboxed. I've gone through it all. Everything is here as expected. And so now I want to show you how to put all this stuff back in the box, and I'll also give you some closer looks at some of the components now that I've seen them and got them organized. But that was not too difficult to organize. It did remind me that so these influence tokens and the lore tokens, I've got upgrades for those on order of as well, so that'll come sometime next year. So the influence tokens will be metal, and the lore tokens, I believe, will be wood. And those will come along with the simulacrum pieces. But let's start with the cards. So first, there are the forge cards for the simulacrum. So there are, I believe, 30 of these, and they're all numbered. Yeah, it looks like there's 30. They're all double-sided. So one side, you can see the red arrows on the bottom. I can show you this. Increases the heat. There we go. So that's the one side of the card, and then the other side of the card decreases the heat. So you can see the blue arrow. So each of these cards is double-sided, and that's pretty neat. So these cards go in this well down here, and it looks like there's room. It looks like there's room on top of all these wells throughout for sleeves. So my intent is to sleeve these cards later, and then I will tack on to the end of this video any notes that I have on after I've sleeved it. Does everything still fit in the box? Okay, so I'll come back to that. Then we've got the faction cards for the simulacrum as well. So you take all of these, which, they've got, some of them have gold on the back, some of them are silver, and then some of them are bronze. So you have some idea of what ballpark they're bidding in, but you don't know exactly what the numbers are. So you take these, you put them on top of the forge cards. And then this well here is also for solo components. So there's 3 types of these cards. There are scheme cards, there are fog cards, and there are ambition cards. And the ambition and scheme cards are labeled, but they look kind of similar to me at first glance. So I separated them. I put ambition on the bottom, fog in the middle, scheme on top, just to help keep them together. But you take all those cards, they can go in this well here, and then you've got a nice little solo section in that area. Again, looks like there's plenty of room for sleeves. And then you've got your 51 kingdom cards, which are all unique. Let me show you a couple of these anyway. So this one looks really nice if we can get in focus. There we go. That's really cool. What else do we have? Ooh, this one looks good. Yeah, it's really great artwork. I don't really understand the effects yet. I'm sure I'll get there. But for now, I just thought it'd be cool to showcase maybe some of the cards that you haven't seen elsewhere yet. So these look really nice. So anyway, take these 51 cards. They're going to go in the other well down here. Awesome. Now we have these cardboard tokens. There are 4 for each of the player factions. So I've separated them by color. You'll notice that the top face on each is flat, but the bottom face has like, some sort of flourish, different shapes, and especially this green one, that makes it really hard for it to stand up on that side. So I put them all upside down, and they go in this wall here all the way to this side. This side is the side you want them on, not the other side. Then there's a little space down here for tokens. This is where I decided to put the lore and influence tokens, as well as the simulacrum. Oh, no, I didn't put the simulacrum there. I put these general tokens. These are like for game effects. All these silkscreen components, by the way, or screen printed, that's the word. All these screen printed wooden components, they are single-sided unless it is functional for them to be double-sided. But let me show you this one. This is like the active player token, just so you can see something. So that's cool. These are all like really nice, big, chunky pieces. And they feel really good in the hand. So also these bags that came with the game, also it's a small thing, but they have a little hole punched in them, so you don't have to worry about getting all the air out before you seal it. You can seal it and then kind of roll it up. It's a small thing, but it's helpful. So we're going to put that down there. And then there's a little cutout here and a similar one over here. So I guess before I get to that, let me get all the faction cards. So there are, no, I forget, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, apparently 19 per faction. It was the same number per faction. There will be 1 or 2 at the end of each that is a horizontal card like this. But all of these cards, and these will get shuffled a bit too. If you need to find the special ones that you can buy, they'll be at the end of each deck by default, but they've got this little icon, tells you how much lore they cost in the top corner. Maybe I can grab a different color. So this blue one, for example, just so you can kind of see, there's the lore. So this one costs 3 lore to acquire this one. So if you're needing to separate these out after you've played, you can do it that way. So again, keep each faction together. So I've got red, green, blue, and purple, and those are all going to go in this well here. So these are just the faction cards. And there seems to be some room for sleeves. Okay, now we're going to take these 5 cards, and you're going to split them in any which way you want, 3 and 2. I'm going to take these 3 and put them over here in that slot, and the remaining 2 will go here. Now, we're going to take this piece, and there's a little well for it right there. So it kind of holds this all in place like a little seatbelt. So that goes there. Simulacrum faction board goes on top next. Again, there's a little well, so it should not go anywhere if you're doing this right. And then the 4 player faction boards are going to go on top next. Again, these shouldn't go anywhere. There's a little well. Now, this is where I'm a little bit dubious about after I sleeve this. There's sort of all this empty space here. That's where you can put all of these tokens. So here are the simulacrum tokens. Then here are the 4 player factions. I'll show you what I put in each of these. Let's use this color. So you're going to have these double-sided faction cardboard tokens. I believe there's 10 of them for each faction. So I put those in the bag. And then you'll have your herald. That's the big piece. Again, the screen printing is only single-sided because it's not really functional to be double-sided. And I believe these are supporters. I already forgot the name, but there's 5 each for each faction. They're going to be different. So this one is boats. Oh, I meant to show you these too. I'll show you the herald on this one, what that looks like. So again, that's really cool. Here's the supporters. They're boats. And I believe this is a player order marker. And this is a hand size limit. They're nice, big, thick pieces. They're not all the same thickness, which is interesting. There's the herald. This is probably about the same. Supporters, maybe a little thinner. And then the turn order marker is the thinnest. It's kind of interesting, but they're still all nice, big pieces. So that stuff is going to go in the bag for each of the factions. So that way, when you're passing these out or when you want to choose which faction you're going to play, you don't have to dig through stuff. So all of these bags are just going to kind of get tucked in here, and they hold things in place okay. But once the cards that are in here are higher up because of their sleeves, I am wondering if these are still going to fit. They might have to go on top. So I will find out and let you know at the end of this video. But once you've got this stuff roughly in there, next thing is, it's a little bit high. Let's see if I can get that a little bit better. I don't want to smush anything. All right, so next thing is the game board, and that'll go on top of everything. Mine right now is a little uneven. It's a little bit higher on this side, so the tokens are pushing it up. I had it better when I practiced earlier, so that might take a little finagling. Then we've got our Simulacrum reminder sheet, our 2 other regular game reminder sheets, Simulacrum rulebook, and the main rulebook. Now, there's still quite a bit of room on top, so that means a couple things. One, just note if you stored it vertically, the board and some of this stuff will kind of move. It's got a little wiggle room, but I think it'll be fine. I don't think everything's going to spill. And then again, if the sleeves push things up, there should be room in here that it shouldn't be an issue. So this side is a little bit higher because of the tokens pushing up. So I can show you there's still room there. So there's not going to be any lid lift when I put the lid on this thing, which I will do now. So here's how it looks. And now I'll do a little time jump. I'll come back to this later, put all the sleeves in, and give my thoughts on that now. All right, so I'm checking in a couple hours later. I've now got everything sleeved, and I am able to fit it all in the box. For reference, I used Mayday sleeves this time. I tend to use Mayday not for any particular reason. They've worked well for me, and it's more out of habit than anything else right now. And I do get premiums, so they are a bit thicker. So I've still got everything stored the same way that I did previously. So I've got those forge cards there. These cards go on top. I've got here, again, the fog cards, the scheme cards, and the ambition cards are under there somewhere. Let's see if I can get them out. There we go. Whoopsie. There we go. So this big stack of cards here are all sleeved. You can see. So those still fit. And let's put these back in. So, they're all facing the same way. So the bottom of sleeve cards are always thicker. This side is popping up almost to the top of this lip, but with a little pressure, it goes down, and we will need that pressure. I've got the kingdom cards here, all sleeved as well and shuffled. And then all of the factions cards, they're sticking way up. They're real high. Let's see if I can. This seems dangerous. Like they're sticking way up, as you can see. But the four factions are there. But again, with a little bit of pressure, this is really the only one I have to press down. I can take 3 of these, put them here just so you can see. It's the same packing method I used before, but so these will be used to weigh down these 2 sets of cards. This, if I press a little, then that fits in the slot, and then I'll put the console here. Then the simulacrum board, and then the 4 player boards on top. And at that point, like this, it's pretty close to level. The red, you can see this top one. There we go. See, everything, it fits in its slot, even sleeve. So these have enough weight to them that they press down on the cards. Now, the one part I was a little worried about was where to fit all these tokens. Now that there's less space here, I can take these simulacrum tokens and kind of put them a little bit beneath these 2 boards. I can slide them under there a little bit. And then the rest of these tokens, I can take one player's set, and get it on top of these cards. Another player token set on top of these cards. It's the last 2 that are a little close. over here. I'm kind of pressing down on these boards a little bit, but I think that's okay. Just so that the tokens aren't extending too much higher. But it is a little bit tight now, for sure. Let's see. Boy, that's even messier than I had it before. But let's see what happens when I put the game board on it, because the game board itself does have some weight. It's still, as it was earlier, higher on this side where the tokens are, but it's not too bad. And then all the booklets on top, I still have enough space. Like, none of these booklets are going to slide out. So there's certainly no danger of lid lift with sleeved cards. You do want to be a little bit cautious or thoughtful, I guess is a better word, as you are packing it back up. But I'm here to tell you that with premium sleeves, everything does fit in this box. So I hope that is helpful. All right, so that was the sleeving sequence. Hopefully that was useful. So this has been my unboxing of the Old King's Crown. I will definitely be playing it solo on this channel, so if you don't want to miss it, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to let me know that you want to see more of the Old King's Crown on Table for One, leave a like on the video as well. You can leave some comments. You can like this on Board Game Geek, pick up a Table for One micro badge while you're over there. And if you want to be a super supporter, head over to my coffee page. That's ko-fi. There's a link in the description. That's what all these fine people here on the screen have done. You can get reserved seating at Table for One if you set yourself up for a monthly contribution to the channel, and you can get yourself on the head of the table list if you are one of the top 10 contributors over the last 90 days. So to all the folks whose names are up on the screen, as well as everybody who's contributed to Table for One via my coffee page, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. It makes videos like this one possible. So that's what I've got this time on Table for One. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to the Old King's Crown, and I will see you in the next video.